have Guy, not it's the other guy. It's Guy Lane, and he has been here before, and we love him, and he's amazing. And we are going to be talking about Julian Assange and Extinction Rebellion, two really, really important topics that are going on right now. He is in Australia, so I'm really, really interested to get right into what is going on in Australia as far as the mood with Julian Assange. Would you say hi, Guy?
Hi, how you going? Thanks for having me back on your show.
Thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the mood in Australia as far as Julian Assange goes? Are they
Hey,
for
can I cut
or
in here real quick?
yeah?
The stream jumped. We've got to start it
What?
over. It jumped, or I say go.
Okay.
Okay, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, go. Let's try it again.
Okay. Hey guys, natural progressive, take two. I have with me Guy Lane, an amazing author and kind of a someone who's been keeping up with the climate change issue. And I really wanted to talk to him about Julian Assange today because he is in Australia, and I want to find out what the mood is in Australia. But say hi, Guy.
Hi, Chris. How you going? Thanks for having me back on your show.
Thank you guys so much for being here. So what's going on in Australia? I mean, what do the regular people think in Australia about what's going on with Julian Assange?
Look, I don't know how to answer that question, but I think if I had to take a stab at it, it would be that they don't really seem to think too much about it. Whilst he's an Australian citizen, um, uh, there's been nothing reported in the Australian media about it. As far as I understand, there's been no efforts by the Australian government to offer any consular assistance. It's just sort of a non-story. And in a way, it was, from what I understand, it was actually kind of pure chance that the world even knew about it because it was a lone German journalist who worked for some obscure news agency. The agency had agreed to put up a 24-hour journalist there 24 hours a day, even though most of the times nothing happened. And so it's sort of like a bit of an invisible story. And yet, um, Noam Chomsky and others and some of the big sort of intellectuals are weighing in on it, and yet nothing from Australian government or media. So it's sort of it's the biggest story in the world that's a non-story in a way. That's sort of how I'm reading it.
That blows me away. I mean, it just really does because Julian Assange, like in my world, he's one of the biggest stories that's going on at the moment with his arrest and all that. Um, I mean, are you aware yourself of what's going on with Julian Assange?
Well, my understanding is that that he overstayed his welcome in the embassy. That the IMF or there was some World Bank or IMF structural loan that worth I think 35 billion that the Peruvians were in line for, but there was political interference in them getting the money, and so I think eventually they just said, well, if we get rid of this annoying person, then we get the money that we want, and so that went through, and as soon as they decided to turf him out, they just phoned the British police who came in and picked him up because he's wanted under the US and I think also still the Swedish warrants. And so he's got some time in British jails. I think I read something. He's likely to be inside UK jails for some weeks, months. But then basically gets extradited to the US. That's my understanding of what happens. And then I think once he gets extradited to the US, then that's probably the last thing we'll ever hear of him. It's pretty
Yeah,
dark.
yeah, it's very dark. He'd probably be put in Guantanamo and never see the light of day or a hearing. Um, which he's pretty much been in prison in the Ecuadorian embassy for 7 years anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He looked horrible. He's a year younger than I am,
Right.
and he looks easily 20 years older than me.
yeah. I mean, it would have,
I mean,
the psychological toll of being in that condition and knowing that. I mean, I mean, he could have at any time just stepped outside of the building, but if he'd done that, there was a permanent police presence. They would have just grabbed
oh
him.
yeah, oh yeah.
Actually, one
I
thing
mean,
I thought, one way of getting him out would have been to get one of those sort of flash mobs where you get thousands of people to turn up wearing Guy Fawkes masks, and you could just sneak out wearing a Guy Fawkes mask. But unfortunately, I didn't have that idea until after he got arrested.
oh,
Can you excuse me? That's my wine delivery. Just give me a minute.
okay, okay, I'll just talk. But anyway, I'm sure all you guys know what's going on with Assange, and I am just devastated about hearing that. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, something had to happen, just a little bit to stop the stalemate that was going on. I'm really hoping that people will rise up and protect him as much as possible. Did you get your wine delivery, guy?
Also, no, I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming in for a lightsaber project. So this is some things from China that I've been waiting for. So how about that?
Yay,
So,
China!
yeah, hey, plastics from China.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So look, it's brilliant, and I don't think we can expect much from this government that we've got in Australia because they're very right wing, and they probably regard somebody that tells government secrets to be a threat. And so, I mean,